Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I'm fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could let me know where you are watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Oburu Odinga, the Sia senator, who is also the elder brother to Raila Odinga, yesterday revealed the intrigues behind the 2022 general election. And Oburu Odinga actually recounted how William Ruto managed to outwit Uhuru and Raila, despite the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta was the president of the Republic of Kenya at that time, and the fact that Raila Odinga was actually enjoying the support of Uhuru Kenyatta. Personally, I find the revelation by Oburu Odinga to be interesting. And if I were to blame individuals, Oburu Odinga would not fail to get his portion of the blame for Raila Odinga's failure. Because, number one, close to 700,000 voters in Nyanza never turned up to vote. Instead of blaming the deep state or any other thing, people like Oburu Odinga ought to have ensured that Nyanza voters turned out to vote, regardless of the votes from any other place. As a senator of Siaya, as a senatorial candidate of Siaya, in my view, Oburu Odinga ought to have done more than any other person. Number two, the fact that ODM party, or Raila Odinga for that matter, failed to have agents is something which also you can't blame on, for example, the state or the deep state. Or you can't give William Ruto credit for agents. For example, during the presidential petition, one thing lacked: evidence. If you say that the elections were stolen, you only needed evidence that in this place in Bondo constituency or in Siaya County, where Oburu is the senator, the results announced at this particular station is actually different from the ones which were being displayed at the portal, and then you have evidence. People like Oburu ought to have provided those kind of information. But I don't want to get into those blame games for now. I want us to try and understand what Oburu Odinga was trying to say. Before we do all those, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, there are two things, actually three, which I think are of interest. The cost of mandazi and chai at State House is costing William Ruto's government 5 million daily. Actually, from the time they took over, it has shot to 16 million Kenyan shillings daily. For me, that's something which should worry any well-meaning Kenyan. And in my view, that's something they should review. I've compared what Uhuru Kenyatta was spending on hospitality, despite the fact that Uhuru Kenyatta turned State House into a bar, and what Ruto, who has turned State House into a church, is spending. The other thing which has also caught my attention is the move by William Ruto's government to actually lock out Bunge la Wananchi from their daily meetings. You know, in this country, we have the rights which must be protected by everybody: the rights to express yourself, the right to associate, and all those other rights. Bunge la Wananchi at Jivanje, Jacaranda, and across the country are currently being banned. Basically, what is happening is that they're being shut down. William Ruto's government is not allowing the Bunge la Wananchi members to actually meet and discuss politics the way they've been doing for the last 10 years. So that's something which I think is not right. Then there's this issue of forcing people to fast at State House. That one, I think maybe you will give me your opinions on it. Do you think Rachel Ruto is right to force staffs at State House, including the Muslims or those who don't profess either of the faiths, to actually fast? I don't know. maybe you can let me know in the comment section. But let us get back to this Oburu Odinga issue, because for me, the fact that Oburu Odinga is an elder brother to Raila Odinga, whatever he said here is significant. Because the other day, I also listened to Raila Odinga, and Raila Odinga was like, William Ruto kind of played them, cheated them that, okay, can we have the office of the official opposition? And he actually used the diplomats. That was according to Raila Odinga, that he actually used the diplomats to reach out to him so that they could create that position, because Ruto knew that he was going to lose. So which, in my view, I think was a reverse psychology which William Ruto was using on these guys. But let us get to this Oburu. Oburu Odinga is saying certain things. Just a minute. Okay, sorry. Something was, I was attending to something else. Now, according to what I'm getting from that particular interview, Oburu Odinga is revealing a lot. Number one, there were full Chebukati factor in the 2022 general election. Because if you paid a close attention to what Oburu Odinga is saying, is that they believed that Wafula Chebukati was not going to have his way, because they had managed to install or to recruit 4 commissioners. Remember, the term for the other 4 commissioners lapsed. So Uhuru and Raila brought 4 commissioners, the Cherera group. And that, according to Oburu, they believed that there was no way the commission was going to operate. Just as in, there was no way Chebukati was going to have his way, that he was going to consult these other commissioners. And that Uhuru Kenyatta actually assured them of the support of Chebukati. So if you ask me, one mistake which I think happened here is the fact that Raila Odinga and his team focused more on the secretariat, on the commissioners, the 7 commissioners. Well, in real sense, everything within IBC took place at the secretariat. So even if you had the support of the 7 commissioners, let's say you had the support of the 7 commissioners, then Ruto took control of the secretariat. Then there was nothing which was going to stop him, because the secretariat was responsible for recruitment of the officials. They were responsible for the deployment of the systems. They were responsible for everything. So for me, next time Raila Odinga is participating in an election, he must remember that election is actually a process. It begins from the registration until the last day when the results are announced. And what Oburu is saying here could be true, because what you once told us was that Chebukati actually went to Raila Odinga and gave his price. Everybody in this country has a price. Even you who is watching. Even me, I might have a price. If someone comes here, if Ruto comes here and, I might have a price. Everybody, that's the fact. So Chebukati went to Raila, told Raila that this is what I want. Raila told him, no, we have the deep state. We don't care. Then he left that place, and according to sources, that's how the 3 commissioners then went. But when they left Raila Odinga's home, because Ruto was on the radar, the 3 were rounded up. They were taken somewhere, I think in Ketengela, and they were given cash by Ruto. Those are the rumors outside here. So that's how they lost Chebukati. And that's how Chebukati ended up ensuring that he delivered victory to Ruto. So I think there was that Chebukati factor which these guys ignored. The other thing which Oburu Odinga is trying to tell you is that William Ruto actually infiltrated the system. Let us face it. Sometimes we have to give credit where it's due. William Ruto was with Raila Odinga in 2007. He witnessed how Kibaki stole that victory. He was even part of a NAN, so which means he was able to get all the details. 2013, William Ruto was with Uhuru Kenyatta. William Ruto participated in the rigging scheme in 2013. Then in 2013, William Ruto decided that I was going to go. That was not 2013. In 2013, William Ruto decided that I'm supporting Uhuru, but my focus is after Uhuru's term, I'm going to go for the presidency. So William Ruto started plotting for the presidency in 2013. So that as we were going for 2017 election, William Ruto knew what he wanted. The first thing he wanted was to deliver the presidency to Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta's win in 2017 can directly be attributed to William Ruto. That is the fact. William Ruto campaigned for Uhuru Kenyatta like nobody's business in 2017. And he was able to understand everything. He knew who matters, what matters everywhere. So when 2022 came now, that was his time, William Ruto was sure that nobody was going to steal his victory. Because he had learned weaknesses of Raila Odinga. He had learned the weaknesses of Azimio. He had learned the system. So he planted IBC. William Ruto started taking control of IBC in 2017. So as we were going for elections, the secretariat at IBC was being controlled by Ruto. And you see, Raila Odinga and the team never saw this. The moment out of 47 county returning officers, were they 19 or out of 41, came from Kalenjin Nation. I think they almost have. That was the day Raila Odinga lost the election. Because William Ruto knew what he was doing. Raila Odinga and the team, according to Oburu, were focusing on the commission. And again, Oburu is saying something that as they were doing this, William Ruto was still part of government. He was still attending security meetings. So he knew what was happening. In most cases, even when he was not attending, William Ruto had planted his people all over. So you meet, he gets briefing. In fact, someone was telling me, who was at the secretariat at a high level, he was telling me that they would always plan things, but by the time they left, Ruto already knew. Sometimes Ruto was in a rally, they are meeting, they're strategizing, whatever they are discussing here, William Ruto is talking about them. So which means William Ruto actually infiltrated Raila Odinga's system. The other thing which is coming out from Oburu's revelation is the casual approach which they gave the campaign. William Ruto was so focused, he knew what he wanted. But what about Raila Odinga's campaign? Casual. We have the deep state. Kibicho will deliver. Oh, there is no way Uhuru will hand over to a thief. But Ruto knew what he wanted. Wakileta hii, Ruto analeta hii. In fact, anybody can easily tell you that when it comes to numbers, Raila Odinga had the numbers. This victory was finished in the mountain. William Ruto finished the election in the mountain because he knew so well Raila Odinga's weaknesses in the mountain in 2013, 2017, actually in 2007, 2013, 2017. He knew the weakness, the issue of agents. So William Ruto simply compromised the IBC in the mountain. And he was able to get the numbers. And of course, William Ruto also managed to control IBC. He was able to control IBC. How could you explain the fact that Raila Odinga and Azimio accepted to go into an election with Form 34A of Book 2? That Form 34A of Book 2 ought not to have left the warehouse. So it means these guys were taking everything casually. So this guy had planned how to rig. They took it casually. They got election materials outside there and they left it casually. That's not how to win election. And lastly, Uhuru Kenyatta's role. Oburu Odinga is revealing that Uhuru never betrayed Raila. And personally, if you ask me, I will never agree to the fact that Uhuru never supported Raila. Uhuru did everything for Raila. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta was a sitting president. Uhuru Kenyatta was never a candidate. The candidate in 2022 elections were Raila Odinga, William Ruto, Wajakoya the fifth. And by the way, there's something I will do about Wajakoya because there is an emergence of Wajakoya the fifth around Raila Odinga. And then there was that, was it David Mwaura, that bishop or something, or lawyer? The guy who, I think Mwaura something. Those were the only 4 candidates. Uhuru was never a candidate. Uhuru, in my view, provided Raila Odinga with a conducive environment. If Raila Odinga needed money, if he needed to go somewhere, the DCs and the DOs. But again, as a candidate, you don't joke. You saw how the candidate in Nigeria did it. If you look at his call center or command center, yeah, he went there and figures were there. Raila Odinga as a presidential candidate didn't have something like that. Someone was telling me, oh, all those were left in the hands of Musheru. Who was Musheru? Musheru was not a politician. Raila Odinga needed to have his own center where you go there, results are streaming in, and copies of Form 34As, copies of Form 34Bs, everything, you know, agents all over. That was not happening. I don't know what you think. But for me, I think Oburu Odinga has leaked information which, in my view, he ought not to have done. What's your take? Thank you, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.